Hi, beautiful people. So let's get into this recap and review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 5, Episode 4, titled A Lowdown Dirty Shade. Instead of a lowdown dirty shame, we have a lowdown dirty shade. I'm telling you, whoever comes up with these titles, I bet it's Carlos King. I come up with these titles for these episodes. All right, so let's get into this episode. It was again another interesting episode. A lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue, no fighting again, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, so first we start off the episode. We see where we have Marsau and Tisha, and that's what I was talking about last week, that the show needs to show the couples doing more of what's going on as individual couples. So we see Marsau and Tisha visiting the site of their new home. I told you I've been listening and watching to them on Instagram, where they're showing us the progress so far. But in this episode, we see where they are about to start the groundbreaking. Tisha let us know that they have switched architects. So I guess Marsau's uncle is not the one who's doing the plans anymore. They had to switch architects so they could actually move forward. But while they're at the site, Marsau let Tisha know that, listen, we're still in the pre-planning stage. We have a long way to go before we actually break ground, so don't get too excited just yet. And he's also telling her that the cost of materials are going up because a lot of companies are moving into Huntsville. Therefore, a lot of homes are being built as well, for people who are going to be working at these companies. And because of that, materials are going up. Also, with COVID, that things are changing. Just to have the materials readily available, it's not like before. Things are kind of hard, so don't think it's going to move faster now that we've changed architects. It might even go slower. So that was Marsau and Tisha's conversation. Tisha brought up the fact that she really wants to help her mom with the food truck. Marsau let her know again it's not a good idea, because that food truck that we went to see, that had no batteries, no engine, no nothing. How are we gonna invest money in a food truck that don't move? And that's the point of the business, to have a mobile restaurant. And if the restaurant can't move, how you gonna be making money? So he's trying to get Tisha to understand that it's not a good idea. I think Tisha really wants to buy her mom a brand new truck, but Marsau is like, no, we're not doing that. I don't really think he believes in the vision of Miss Wanda's food truck, but he does admit that the food is good, so why not give it a try? Come on, support Tisha in something that she want to do to help her mom. So I think Marsau will eventually give in, because from this episode he let us know that Tisha is the one who's the financial whiz, who would put, when he wants to spend a lot, then she will pull back. So I think that her decision to help her mom, I think she's crunched numbers, I should say, and see that it's actually a good business to getting. So I think eventually Tisha will get her way, but we're gonna stretch it out a little bit, I'm sure. So he's telling Tisha, no, the only thing that your mom is in is drama. The only thing she brings to the table is salt and pepper and seasoning. Marsau is a clown, I swear. He thinks everything is a joke, but he does come across with some good points at times. So also, they brought up Martell, the fact that Martell wants to buy back into Skolt. And now that Tisha is majority shareholder, it's her decision to actually say yes, you could come, or no. So she's planning to have a meeting with Martell to actually discuss it and discuss other things. So she let Marsau know that's coming up, and Marsau was like playing again with social media as far as the rumors out there. He's like, make sure when you go out with Martell, you behave yourself. You're not gonna be one of his women, because I'll leave you over a rumor. So Marsau is funny. I know he is so funny. So that was that. He says Marsau is a good guy, and he actually liked doing business with him. But when it got to that personal stuff where they were all clashing about the 20 women's and about Martell cheating, Martell tried to drag Marsau into the circle with him, and Marsau was like, nobody, I'm not part of this. You're on this island by yourself. I think that broke down the whole relationship with them. We all saw it unfold in front of us anyway, so we know what happened. But Marsau, I believe, wants to work with Martell, and he in turn wants to work with Marsau again. So that was Tisha and Marsau at the site for their new home. Now we have Martell meeting with Melnika, and he asked her to meet her at one of the sites that he's about to build a home for someone. So he asked her to come over and just, touch base with him as far as, because remember, Melnika is now Martell's manager. She's his social media manager. She's booking all his gigs for him, anything PR she deals with. So she came over just to touch base with him as far as what the upcoming events. And he's having another wine tasting in Huntsville. And as we remember, the last one where he had in, I believe, in Atlanta, his uncle got upset because he wasn't invited. Quite a few family members weren't invited, and it turned out to be a problem. So Martell is letting Melnika know, remember to make sure that you invite whoever needs to be invited. Put them on the list, because I don't want no issues. Everybody needs to get their thank yous. Everybody needs to get their recognition. So make sure it goes well. So he took the opportunity now to talk to Melnika about the rumor that Destiny brought up to him in the last episode. So he's letting Melnika know that Melody put it out there that the reason why you stopped working with me is because of the fact that, or something, allegedly that they were sleeping together. So they went back and forth with that conversation. Melnika, let us know that the reason that she did quit, it wasn't weeks before the wedding, it was months before the wedding. And she actually had her mom step in to actually finish the wedding planning. And she did bring up the fact that Martell was asking her about one of her assistants, and that Melody came in the room and asked at one of their meetings or their planning stages, Melody came in the room and asked who in here wants Martell and so on. So she's like, she felt that it was unprofessional, and that's why she left. She didn't want any problems with them down the line. She says she's not even going to address this rumor, because now that she is married, she don't want no drama for her husband, and it was not fair to her husband to be put in this position of having to ask, what was going on with you two or whatever. So now we thought it was done, but now Martell keeps talking, which I think he should have shut his mouth right there and everything would have been squashed, whatever. But now Martell keeps talking, and we find out from the conversation that he and Melnika dated in high school. And while they were dating in high school, Melnika cheated. So I guess they were doing, that's young love, young things. But why was your high school girlfriend helping to plan your wedding from your college with your college sweetheart? I mean, that was just, I'm guessing Huntsville is a small place and you couldn't find anybody else. Is she the only wedding planner in town? Why she needed to be the one to help plan your wedding? So I guess that's why Melnika just excused herself. She's like, I don't want to be part of this mix-up. Let my mama take over, finish it up, make sure they have a beautiful wedding, and let's move on with our lives. But now that they're still friends, which you tend to stay in contact. If you really have good friends throughout life, you're gonna keep them in your life. I guess they stayed in contact with each other. Now Melnika is in a different kind of field, which is PR. So therefore, she's helping Martell to brand or rebrand himself, or just move his career forward. She is married, like she says. It shouldn't be a problem. She don't want it to be a problem with her and her husband. But now that her husband finds out all of this behind the scenes stuff, is he gonna be okay with her still working with Martell? Where, it's a possibility that the sparks could fly again. But Melnika's like, I don't want you. Nobody wants you. I don't want to sleep with you. Don't think nobody wants Martell's like, you don't want to sleep with me? She's like, no, I don't want to sleep with you. Like, he was offended that she didn't want him. Like, come on, dude. She's been there, done that. Let's move on. Let's just be friends. You know, if I need advice on something, I'll call you, whatever. But no, I don't want to be there with you again. So they laughed about that, but it was interesting to know that they were dating in high school. Huh. So that's something right there. I'm sure that's going to come up later on down the line. So that was Melnika and Martell's conversation. He's like, I don't want to give this any fire. Let's just squash this, but just let it be known that it's out there if you should hear anything. All right, now we have Melody and her mom, Miss Vaughn, and they're at Melody's house. We see Melody cleaning up. They go into the backyard and they're having a conversation. So apparently Miss Vaughn did an interview with a blogger, Lula, and she's the founder of the Love and Marriage fan page, Instagram fan page. So Miss Vaughn did an interview with her, and they were discussing some things. One in particular, when Melody and Latisha were having their spat over around Valentine's, somewhere in February, where they had the Galentine's event and they almost came to blows and stuff like that. Miss Vaughn posted the picture of the shirt that Latisha was wearing. Remember, she was wearing some pink pants, some pink vinyl pants, and she had on a sweatshirt that said Team Wife when she walked in, because remember, that was Tisha throwing shade at Melody, because Melody and Martell were going through their divorce at the time, and Latisha is still happily married. Well, I don't know if she was happy. People were still trying to throw things at her, but she had on that t-shirt or that sweatshirt that said Team Wife when she came to the Galentine's event, and she had her sneakers ready for anything. She was like, Tisha had her hair pulled back. She was ready for anything at that point. So Miss Vaughn took a screenshot of that and posted that on her Instagram. And I guess to throw shade or whatever, but she was talking to Melody about that, saying that the only reason why she posted that was to show support for Mel, and Mel said because of that post she got thousands of sales on that sweatshirt, and that's a sweatshirt she had put out like the year before, so it wasn't selling, but because of that post and because of that episode and then going back and forth and people talking about it, she was able to get some sales from that sweatshirt. So then she said, okay, because I posted that, now Marsau, being shady and funny as he always is, post a picture of two Coke bottles together, where one Coke bottle said Vanessa and the other one said Scott. So now so Mel was like, what was that about? So she was like, something about Marsau posted it, his brother Mark sent it to whatever. She was trying to say that she wasn't responsible for it, but down the line Latisha let us know that that picture came from Miss Vaughn herself when she was dating Marsau's brother. They're supposed to be working together and they ended up dating. That Miss Vaughn sent that picture to her. Miss Vaughn sent it to Latisha just to show her something. I guess she was in love or whatever, and she sent that picture to Tisha. So Tisha had that picture in her phone. She kept it. I guess, with Google Photos, it saves everything. Nothing delete or goes to the cloud or whatever, but it's always a trail of something out there. So Latisha found that picture, gave it to Marsau, and Marsau put it up on his Instagram, trying to be shady as always. So Miss Vaughn was saying that the reason that they did that was to be shady because she put up the Team Wife shirt. So if you're being shady over here, Miss Vaughn, and you're saying it's only to show support, then according to Marsau, he was like, all right, you're showing the Team Wife shirt? Yes, I'm showing another picture supporting relationships and marriages. So if that's what you're doing, I'm doing the same thing. So of course, I'm telling you, this show ties so well into social media. It's not even funny. But it is really, really interesting. It's good to see them going back and forth. Everybody throwing their subtle shade and trying to say it's not shade. Interesting. So that was Melody's and the mom's conversation. Melody let her mom know that she is going to Madani's relaunch, even though Destiny didn't invite her, because she said what she does, she supports black businesses, and she and Destiny really don't have any problems like that, even though Destiny let us know she haven't talked to Melody in however long. So she is gonna go and support the relaunch of Madani. They brought up again the quote-unquote lie that was told on Miss Vaughn at the reunion, saying that she was dating Mark, and Miss Vaughn was saying she was not dating Mark, even though Martell said that she was driving back and forth for 6 hours to go see him. So I guess eventually that will come to a head. So the truth have to come out somewhere. I believe if a Mark had come on Instagram to address it, I didn't follow it because I really wasn't into that part of it. But now that they bring it back up, I need to go back and do a little bit of a research on that to find out what came of that. So we still don't know. Miss Vaughn is saying that she did not date Mark, and I believe the rest of the people are saying yes, she dated Marsau's brother Mark. So I don't know if Mark was in a relationship at the time or married at the time or whatever. There has to be a reason why she keeps denying it. Or did it even happen? Who's lying? We need to find out. So I guess we're gonna have to go back in and look into it some more. So that was Melody and Miss Vaughn in her backyard, just touching base and talking about things. And now we know that Melody is going to Destiny's event, even though Destiny did not extend an invitation. Now we come to the meeting with Tisha and Martell. They're meeting at Black, and he wants to buy back into Scold, and that was another interesting and long conversation. So Martell came in the confessional like he's looking forward to this meeting. He's feeling good about it. Remember last week he had told, when Melody brought the news to him, that Miss Wanda had was talking on their kids, and we saw that Martell really didn't want to address it. He kept putting it back in Mel's lap. Why don't you deal with it? Now we understand why, because Miss Wanda, who is Latisha's mother, he doesn't want a problem with her, because he doesn't want a problem with Tisha and Marsau, because he wants to move forward with his business. So therefore, Mel, you go take care of the problem with the kids with Miss Wanda. I'm trying to get back in good with the Scotts because I need to move my business forward. I still don't have my builder's license because I see that they're not addressing it on the show. So I'm assuming Martell still don't have his builder's license. And because he's friends per se with Marsau, then he wants to go back and work with them. So he's meeting with Tisha, and the reason why he's meeting with Tisha alone is because, as we know now, Tisha is the majority shareholder by 1% of the company. She bought out Martell, she said, and when she did buy him out, the company was in the red. And now that Martell is gone and they've acquired multi-million-dollar contracts, they're in the companies in the billions now. So with her leadership, like she said, it has turned the company around. And to Marsau's point, he gave his wife props, where he said that because of Latisha, the company has turned around and they're doing really, really well. So as Latisha says, there's a new leader in town, baby. Yes, Latisha, Miss Boss Lady, as we call. I'm not going to use the B word. She is Boss Lady, and that was a great move, in actually acquiring the percentages. She bought them both out, and she is now 51% owner of Scold, and whatever she says goes. I mean, of course, she's not going to be that way. You can see that Latisha is a fair person. She's going to discuss things with her husband and also whatever business partner they bring on board. But the ultimate decision is up to her now, as far as they should accept the contract, what they will charge for, whatever fees they will charge for a job to be done and stuff like that. And she will know for sure after she does her research if it's worth taking on a project. So it's good to have, because you had Marsau actually doing the actual building and also looking at the finances. So it's good to have a person who is making sure that they're in the business to make profit. If it's not profitable, don't do it. And that's why Tisha is there, to make sure that things are balanced. Checks and balances, baby. Like she said again, new leader in town. So she's asking Martell, why do you want to buy back into school? Martell, set himself like he's doing a real interview, like he's interviewing for a job. And he tried to say that he wasn't a messy person, that he's not into no drama. And as you see, the producers, when they have their little the little sounds that they put with certain things that he said, they were doing it throughout the whole episode with other conversations as well. When Martell said something like, and the sound was like, really? Yeah, that's the sound they put with it, like, we know better. You say this, but we know better. So it was interesting. He told him that, he told her that, I don't think I'm untrustworthy. The sound came with the word untrustworthy, and she brought up the fact that, listen, we had a good business relationship, but when you brought the personal into it and talking about Marsau had 20 women and that wasn't true and stuff, they put that sound again. She told him, be careful with your words, because once you put it out there, it's hard to take back and to say that you didn't say it, which is true in anything, not only in this show. They say when a person tell a lie on you, now you're in the position to have to prove that it's not a lie. And a lie could destroy life. A lie could put people in jail or put people in the grave. So you do have to be careful with your words and watch what you're saying about people, because they will actually use it, because it's more, they say a lie is more entertaining than the truth. So you have to be careful what you're saying, because your lie could destroy lives. Before they got into the conversation, they talked about the picture of Tisha. Tisha brought it up, the picture that Miss Vaughn posted, and the counter picture. So she's letting Martell know that the picture that Marsau posted came from Miss Vaughn herself. Like, we didn't just pull that out of the sky. That actually came from Miss Vaughn. And the fact that she posted that picture of me in the Team Wife shirt, she was throwing shade. Martell tried to play it off as to say, don't you think she was just being supportive of you guys? She was like, no, Miss Vaughn try to be like she's a true church lady, but she comes subtle with the shade, but she cuts deep when she comes with it. Try to throw shade and then quote a Bible scripture behind it to make it seem like she's such a godly woman. Girl, that's how they all are. These church people. That's how they all are. So, yeah, they had a little kiki moment over that. Like I said, she let Martell know that the picture that Marsau posted with the Coke bottle, which says Vanessa Scott, came directly from Miss Scott, from Miss Vaughn, when she was dating Mark, while they were supposed to be working together at Scope. And she was really into him at the time. So that was a conversation with, not quite, they talked about the project that he could actually come in on, and he asked Latisha, how's it going with Destiny? Are we going to be working on that? And to Latisha's point, she told him that right now Destiny is actually renting the space that she's in, and for her to build it out. And if the building owner at any point tells her that he needs the building, she would have, put all that money into beautifying the space just to make him more money. So therefore, she told Destiny that it's not a good idea to build out the space. If she's going to do that, it's better if she owns the building that she's going to be using. So Destiny decides to put that off. So guess all she has really right now is the beauty supply, but she's not going to do the sweets. So I'm assuming Destiny is now looking for a new establishment, because that's what I would do. I would look for an establishment to either buy or one that already have the setup that I'm looking for, so that I wouldn't have to dump all that money into it and have to walk away from it later. Either that, or try to buy the building from the owner if he's willing to sell, and then you do your build out. So that was what Tisha told Martell, that they're putting that project on hold, but I'm sure that they'll find something else that they could work together on. But she's like, okay, welcome back into school with the new leader. He's like, okay, I see that. Yes, the new leader. Yes, Tisha, a round of applause to you, girl. You're making the big decisions, which you have been doing from behind the scenes anyway. We all know that. We just make sure that we push our men forward, which is what you did with Marsau. Yeah, baby, go up there and be the face. I'll just stay back here, let them think I'm the naive, stupid woman that they portray me to be on social media while I'm here making all the decisions. So yeah, that's Tisha and Marsau. Now we have the men meeting up for drinks and games. Martell called the get together, just wanted to touch base with the guys and stuff like that. So we have Martell, Maurice, Marsau, and Louis meeting up for some sort of football bowling game. I don't know what the heck you call that, but they met up at the spot. They're talking about family and stuff like that. They're talking about Martell's son Tank training with Louis, as far as, you know, he's getting his throwing arm down. I'm not sure if he's doing baseball or football or whatever, but we know that he's into some sort of sports, and he's doing it at the compound with Louis. So at one point, Marsau asks Martell, are you dating? And then we see the pause, and he's like, I know you're dating. I know you went on a date. And everybody's like, what? And he's like, you went on a date with my wife. So that turned out to be a key moment between the guys, because you know, they had Marsau in a corner, and they had Martell in a corner, I should say, and he was like, oh shit, what should I say right now? So then Marsau told him, listen, you know, I'm keeping my eye on you, and anywhere you go, I'm gonna know what your back look like. Just know that I'm gonna know what your back look like, because if you guys know, again, Marsau playing games on social media. Somebody put it out there that Marsau was in a hotel room with a woman. A woman took a picture of his back, allegedly, and that's what Miss Wanda came back to him with last season. When he was talking to her about the food truck and the food business, she's like, this is your back in the picture. They said this is your back. So some of the people who are perpetrating all the rumors is his actual mother-in-law, which is why Marsau don't really want to deal with her or be around her, because she's bringing all these stupid rumors to him and causing trouble in his marriage. So that's why he was making a joke about that. So he was talking to Martell about his temper. He's in his confessional. He said Martell is a great guy, but he does have a dark side about him. And then he's telling Martell that, listen, you know, you have to have some sort of internal constitution about you when you go into things, which is basically, he's telling him, guy, you need to really check yourself when you see yourself getting all emotional. There's certain things that you just don't do or say. In the moment you get heated, and because you want to lash out at people, you do so without thinking of the consequences down the line. So that's basically what he was telling Martell. You need to really check yourself. And then he gets back into the confessional to tell us that he really wants to work with Martell, but scold is the way he feeds his family, and he cannot deal with any drama. He's not going to bring any drama into where he makes his money, because that's affecting his livelihood, it's affecting his lifestyle, it's affecting his entire family. So he really wants to work at Martell on the professional side, but he is still kind of skeptical. He don't want to jump back in with both feet. He's still kind of skeptical because he doesn't want all the drama that comes with Martell wherever Martell goes, because apparently Martell always have drama going on. And that's when he actually big up his wife. He big up his wife, Tisha, when he's like, that's why I like the fact that Tisha is actually part of the project of school and working with us, because she is the impartial person. She is the voice of reason. He's like, where I am, where I get excited and I go and I spend money and I start building, and to the point where I get to the middle of stuff and I'm like, I can't go no more because I have no money, and now I have to sell the project in order to break even. This is where Tisha comes in, where from the beginning she will map everything out, lay it out, and say, this is worth doing or this is not worth doing. And the guys were like, well, that's a good thing then, because then she's the voice of reason. And he said, but most of the time Tisha will actually agree with Martell, and he don't like that. And then he would tell them that they're both wrong, that he is the one that's getting it right, Marsau. So that was a nice little thing with them. Then they get onto the part of where the picture was posted. We're talking about the picture again, another picture. So we're talking about the Team Wife picture and the Vanessa Scott Coke bottle picture. And Marsau was like, if she posted that picture to show support for marriage, then my picture as well is showing support for marriage. So then Martell was like, where that picture come from? It was like, Vaughn sent that picture to Tisha when she was working at school with my brother Mark on a project and stuff like that. So he was like, so why would she post that? Why would she send that picture? Is that because she was in love? He's like, Vaughn was so in love with him that she was actually paying his child support bills. That's when I clutched my pearls and I gasped, girl. Miss Vaughn was paying Mark's child support bills. She's like, he was in love. She was so in love with him that she would do anything for the man, including paying his child support bills. Ain't no way a man is gonna have me that open that I'm gonna be paying his bills like that. No, Miss Vaughn, if that's the case, you see, Marsau is putting it out there. He's saying that they don't start stuff, but they will finish stuff. They don't tell lie. They just bring you the facts. So that's why I think I believe him. So why you still out here denying it that you did not date Mark? Tisha and Marsau is going to bust your secrets wide open if you don't chill, Miss Vaughn. Oh my gosh. So that is where they ended that segment. I think the men at the table are actually grabbing their pearls and gasping too, girl, because I was. Melody's mommy is out here paying Marsau's brother's child support bills because she was so in love with him. All right, allegedly. We gonna leave that there. They ended the scene there. I'm sure we gonna circle back around to it in another episode, but we gonna move on. So the last scene of this episode is the relaunch of Madani. So we have everybody coming in, and we noticed. Did you guys notice that there was a lady in a green dress that came in with Destiny? So there is another blogger on YouTube. Her name is True T, who brought it up, and she's saying allegedly that lady in the green dress is one of Martell's jump off, one of Martell's friends. Let me not say jump off, one of Martell's lady friends. She's saying that lady was at the wine tasting in Atlanta, and now she's at Destiny's opening, posing as a friend of Destiny. She's saying Martell is trying to get his sneaky links up in the show as posing as friends of Destiny. Well, we all know Martell and Destiny are friends, so I'm guessing, I don't know, but she's saying it. I'm gonna link that video in my description here on YouTube, because some of you are listening to this on the podcast and others are listening on YouTube. So on YouTube, I'm gonna post the link to that video so you guys could hear what True T has to say. But she's saying that lady in the green dress, if you don't remember her walking in with Destiny, walking over to the table with Destiny, that's one of Martell lady friends, guys. So her name is Belinda. So all right, we see people arriving. We see Maurice and Kimmy arrive. And then we see Miss Wanda pull up in her Jeep and she's unloading because she's about to set up for her food truck. We see other vendors. We see Latisha and Marsau daughter's nail polish line. Destiny is featuring that in her store. She has another cousin that has a makeup line, and then I believe there is another lady who has holistic drinks. She was also part of it. So including her having the relaunch for Madani itself, she's featuring other vendors, 4 other vendors, Miss Wanda and the other 3 that I just mentioned. So we see Miss Wanda setting up her food truck, and then we see Marsau and Tisha pull up. They're coming out of the car. Tisha's like, Mama, you need some help? She's like, yes. Then Marsau goes, come on, baby, we got things to do. We have people to go see. I was like, oh my God. Marsau, why would you put Tisha in a position like that? Come on, that's her mama over there struggling. And she's offering to go give her mama a quick hand, and you pulling her away like, you know, you're not going to associate with her even though she's your mom. Marsau, that wasn't cool at all. But I understand where you're coming from. I really do. So then, I'm guessing Tisha did go help, but we didn't see that part on the scene. We see Destiny's daddy actually outside greeting Marsau and Latisha. Why don't Destiny daddy go over there, go help out Miss Wanda? That wouldn't be too bad. And then we're talking about the guys now come inside, and we're talking about how they're dressed. We see Marsau in some cutout shorts and a t-shirt. And of course, Maurice is saying something about the way he dresses. And he's like, well, I don't give a damn how I dress. He's in the confessional. He's like, I don't care what people think about how I dress. He's like, maybe I should have came out with a fox stole. Then the camera, they go back to the part where you see Martell getting ready for his white wine tasting. And he has on his white suit, and he is draped in a fox stole across his shoulder. I know social media read him for filth on that. Oh my God, they had fun with that picture on Instagram and Twitter. Oh gosh, so that is what Marsau is referring to. Maybe he needs to put on a suit and some mink or whatever. So of course we found that funny. We have the, jumping all over the place. We see where Martell is talking to Destiny and ask her, did you invite Mel? And Destiny's like, Mel is standing right here, and she's referring to Melnika. So Martell is like, no, did you invite Melody? And Destiny was like, look, I painted the cabinet black. Don't you like it? Oh my gosh, they are funny. We see Dr. Contessa and her husband Scott come in, and they're from Married to Medicine. I didn't know that her and Destiny are friends. She came to show her support. That's really nice. And then to end out the scene, we see Stormy's gold Benz Jeep rolling up. So Destiny's face is like, she knows she didn't extend the invitation to Stormy or Melody, but they're coming in, and I believe they travel together, I think. Well, we're going to find out in the next episode if they came in together, they traveled together. More than likely they did. We'll see. But yes, guys, that is where the episode ended. We see the Jeep rolling up, and we're going to see who comes out of the Jeep. So that was this episode. Most of it was focused on everybody trying to figure out if Miss Vaughn was dating Marsau's brother or not. Was she dating Mark? I guess over the next few episodes, it's going to have to come to light, because since they brought it to the forefront, we want to know more. We're going to see if we know Melody actually came to the event. We're going to see she even gets a chance to talk to Destiny before she confronts Miss Wanda, because from the preview of the next episode, we see where Melody and Miss Wanda got into it. We actually saw that unfold on social media on the day that it happened. So everybody was like, oh my gosh, there were even YouTube videos out about this scene right here before we're actually seeing it now, because we were on Melody's live with her, and we saw some unfold. I believe other bloggers did videos on it on YouTube. So if you want to go see what unfolded a little bit before the episode airs, because we didn't get the whole thing on social media. That's why most of us are over here now wondering now what actually happened between Melody and Miss Wanda, why it got to the point where it did. We have Marsau and Martell getting into it. Marsau being dragged away by production and her brother. We even see Stormy's husband trying to part people. It was a whole big deal. So that is coming up on the next episode, and we'll get to watch it and talk about it. So that is it, the recap and the review of this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 5, episode 4, titled A Lowdown Dirty Shade. So as always, guys, thank you for listening. Please download and share this podcast. If you're listening to it on YouTube, make sure that you share this video, like this video. And until next time, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye-bye.